since it was first discovered in 2015. A star that can be seen mysteriously brightening and dimming at irregular intervals has captured the imagination of scientists and conspiracy theorists alike. Theories have ranged from dust rings covering the star to aliens harnessing its energy, but no consensus has been reached so far. Now a new paper has proposed an entirely different explanation for the mysterious dimming of the star, suggesting the fluctuations may be caused by the material inside the star changing from one phase to another. The dimming events on Tabby's star, known officially as KIC 8,462,852 or the Dyson sphere star, vary in magnitude and do not occur at regular intervals, making an orbiting planet an unlikely explanation. This means the source of the unusual dimming events remains the subject of intense speculation. Many scientists remain skeptical of theories regarding aliens, suggesting the dimming could be explained by a dust ring around the star or a hail of comets passing in between the star and Earth. Now a team from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign has suggested the fluctuations may be intrinsic to the material within the star itself. There are a few telltale signs of occultation or dimming by an independent body blocking the view, said Professor Richard Weaver, co-author of the new study. The most important is periodicity. In Tabby's star, the small and big events are not periodic, they don't occur at regular intervals, and this is one of the central mysteries of the light curve. The team studied the dimming events using mathematical models and found they are similar to the patterns exhibited in what is called avalanche statistics. The smaller dimming events are the crackling noise or small avalanches observed during the time intervals between the larger avalanches, the larger dimming events. These results suggest the dimming events may be part of Tabby's star, and the star may be near the critical point of a continuous phase transition. This means the material in the star could be about to change its state, for example from a liquid to a gas, or gas to a plasma. But exactly what the materials are changing from and into is still unknown. The researchers think this phase transition is happening because of the appearance of the dimming when studying it using a certain kind of mathematics called avalanche models. Avalanche models have been previously used to explain several phenomena in biology, physics and astronomy. Physics graduate student Mohammed Sheikh says the mathematical method starts by establishing a median dimming threshold across the light curve. Once the light curve drops below the threshold, we consider such an event the start of an avalanche. While the light curve remains below the threshold, the avalanche continues, and it stops when it increases again to a value above the threshold. We know from other systems near non-equilibrium phase transitions that a system can have small events that show power law scaling in large events that have different dynamics, said co-author Professor Karen Dahlman. Examples of such transitions are magnetic systems that are slowly driven with a magnetic field, or the slow deformation of somewhat brittle materials where there is often first little crackling that gets louder and louder until there is a big snap when the material breaks. The small events in our star analysis would be like the little crackles, while the large events would be the analog of the big snap, she said. Our model is actually able to account for both small events and large ones. It has a built-in weakening mechanism that explains why there should be two types of avalanches if the dimming events are associated with an oncoming phase transition. Professor Weaver explains, what it is changing into remains unknown. As more data is being analyzed, we hope it will be possible to identify exactly what type of transition this is. We don't have a deep enough understanding to get a definitive answer, and more observations are required. We can only speculate on what such a transition would be. It's important to note, lack of periodicity alone is not enough to rule out occultation. That's part of the reason why theories such as comets or planetary debris are so popular. We can't definitely rule out these things with our findings, but we can say that the power laws we have obtained are more consistent with intrinsic variation. As a next step, we believe the same type of analysis should be applied to other stars to see how universal these fluctuation statistics are among the stars that are already known, said Professor Dahlman. In other words, we would use the statistics of the noise in the light curves in these stars to learn something about the dynamical processes that are going on inside the star.